G'day viewers, welcome to the end of another week. Welcome back, AZ.
Hello, I was in the hospital a little bit, but I got away again.
Yeah, the bruising, honestly, for once, not me.
No, it was me. I fell on my head.
Does that sound like a very bad excuse? In this case, it's actually true.
Yeah, I really did. No one even helped me. I was on some substances, and then I was walking, and then I was waking up outside.
Anyway, we're here to bring you Totally Fucked Up Friday.
It was aliens.
Roundup of stories from around the world showing that the world really is totally fucked up.
Utterly.
Possibly with a music soundtrack. My neighbours are having a party. I have no idea how much my sound insulation is going to allow that in. We shall soldier on.
Yeah, I might dance a little bit.
But starting with bad excuses. Now, here's a story I wasn't really going to touch. Very sensitive, and I wouldn't want to be seen to be making jokes about this. Sexual abuse by members of the Catholic Church upon children in Australia. Specifically, there's one big investigation in New South Wales and one in Victoria, the two most populous states in the country. And two things made me bring this up. A lot of people have been sending me the links, and there will be links. Really, the old thing about trigger warnings, do not read those links if you are really easily upset, because this is the worst sort of abuse imaginable. It's absolutely horrifying. And why I brought it forward, one on the TV on Monday night, I think it was, a show called Late Line on our ABC network. A serving senior cop in New South Wales, his name's Peter Fox.
Let me just stop you there for a second.
This is an important point.
In Australia, a serving police person does not, will not, and cannot talk out on any subject at all, ever. Two reasons. A, there's legalities involved that are very deep and binding. They often get chucked in jail. And two, they often get shot.
Yes, the old code of silence. This guy who's been investigating abuse by the Catholic Church for years has basically gone, enough is enough. It's not just that so much abuse happened at the hands of priests and the Christian brothers under the hierarchy of the Catholic Church, but also the behaviour of church authorities has consistently been to hide it, to protect the perpetrators, to try and throw police off, and to actively destroy evidence to try and stop police investigations. That's only half of why he came forward. The other half is he was taken off the case.
Unfucking believable.
Now, he hasn't said there's anything untoward specifically in that, but he said, I can't give you a good reason why I would be taken off this case that I was pursuing quite zealously. And as a result of him going public, the New South Wales Premier, Barry O'Farrell, said there will be an investigation into the circumstances, both of the Catholic Church abuse and to whether the police investigation should have been done a bit more thoroughly. And meanwhile, the other thing that made me actually mention this was opposition frontbencher Joe fucking Hockey comes out and says, oh, no, you shouldn't have a royal commission, which is the highest level of inquiry that can happen in Australia, because I know some victims of abuse. Hockey's a Catholic himself, and he says, and they don't want to go and give evidence. Guess what? People who don't want to won't have to, because there are fuckloads of victims whose one goal is to be able to give evidence to an inquiry like this, to get this out in the fucking open.
Unbelievable!
The wrong-headedness required to step up and make a comment like that blows my mind, okay? It's like, that's just not it, okay? Why not, rather than saying people don't want to testify, throw it out there and say, hey, is there anyone who wants to testify? Because the answer is fucking yes! Oh my God! And seriously, and I did even see one of the apologists for the Catholic Church going, oh, it's a witch hunt against the Catholic Church. Why pick on the Catholic Church?
Well, here's one reason.
Because, and this blew my fucking mind when I heard this. Like, everyone's heard the stories about it. But surely, and because it does happen in other religious groups,
organisations, cults, shit like that, it happens.
But an investigation in Victoria, the professor behind it tabled figures, which he said were conservative, that the Catholic Church is responsible for 6 times more abuse than all the other religious organisations combined.
The fuck?
Oh my God, this is just horrific. And the repercussions are people just with emotional, mental trauma their whole lives, alcohol and drug dependence to cope with it, suicide, horrible rates of suicide. It's just awful. And like I said, it's not just that the acts happened. That's bad enough in itself. But the hierarchy has consistently covered up, destroyed evidence, and tried to obstruct investigations. It's fucking sick, and something has to be done about it. That you cannot get more totally fucked up than that. No. But, oh my God, I think we need a palate cleanser. We'll go on to some slightly more lighthearted things. Still totally fucked up, but stuff that won't make us cry ourselves to sleep if we think about it too much.
Exactly, yes. Okay. Again, don't go to those links if you're upset easily.
Because
this is an AIDSy no bullshit warning here.
It's bad shit. But look, here's a warning. Hey, if a pretty girl comes up to you in a bar in a town where you're visiting as an obvious tourist and says, buy me a drink, big boy.
Okay.
By all means, do it. But, you know, when she starts saying, hey, buy this and buy that and put your credit card on the bar.
Okay.
Certain things happen. In Miami, there's a huge case going on where there was actually a criminal network running this whole network of bar girls who would get tourists and they spot a sucker and they take him to a bar where there's a setup and they get his credit card and he buys drinks and the girls sort of tip their drinks into a pot plant or something. Go big boy. And the guy's drink and he gets so shit-faced. One guy ran up something like $45,000.
Which is genius, right? $45,000 bar bill. That is spectacular. Now, I have been known to be on some substances before. And I have been known to think that some things that weren't quite as real as consensus people would say were real, like aliens and swimming in the Yarra and the water wall of the Arts Centre, were a good thing. But how pissed have you got to be to run up a $45,000 bar bill?
Which included being convinced to pay $2,500 for a painting that was behind the bar.
Oh, shit, yeah. I'll have that.
Yeah. Now, honestly, okay, look, when there's a criminal gang coordinating it...
Okay, fair enough.
Prosecute. And, in fact, the star witness, the guy who was the head of it, who's now turned evidence for protection, is actually a Russian mobster. He's like a Bond villain.
Yes, and he's not like selling nukes, he's like bilking credit cards.
Apparently, the scam has scored them up to $1 million. That's how dumb drunk guys are.
We kind of need guys.
Think with your dick, guys.
But I mean, it never cost me that much. It was like $850 in court costs. And, and I got a phone number of one of the cops. So whatever, you know?
You know, but seriously, at a certain point, I don't know, yeah, there's a criminal gang, but it's also fiscal Darwinism at a certain point.
Look at me. Think. Fiscal Darwinism. Why haven't I got any money? Because I don't have a credit card anymore. I'm not allowed.
You know? And this sort of stuff can get out of control. The whole binge drinking, I mean...
Unbelievable.
If you don't keep a lid on things before you know it, a herd of drunk elephants are destroying your village.
Fucking shit over wholesale.
This apparently actually happened and continues to happen on an at least semi-regular basis.
Which is the mind-blowing bit, right?
In some Indian villages, where apparently, just for shits and giggles, they brew shitloads of hooch. Just homebrew moonshine.
Homebrew moonshine, right? And then we've all gone there.
But
I think I will drink petrol with my vodka, you know.
But leaving it unsecured when apparently elephants have a tendency to roam through your village?
As they do, because who's going to say no to an elephant?
Who's going to say no when a herd of some dozens of elephants have gotten your God knows how many gallons of hooch?
Oh, fuck this. That's all right. This is good.
And now you've got a herd of drunk elephants in your village.
And how good are drunk elephants? No. Shut up. No, shut up. I love you. Shut up. Your weight's not an issue. Your weight's not... Hey, let's go and take that hut back to our place. I think I can know how to make the blinky light go on. Come on, shh, they won't know. Shh.
And this is the thing, when I looked this up, because I got one link to it during the week, but there are versions of this going back years. So it's like, seriously, like, okay, you know, rampaging elephants get into my hooch and trash my village once.
Yeah.
Shame on you. Rampaging elephants get into my hooch twice?
I gotta start asking questions about where are I keeping the hooch. This time, Shrivav, should we put the hooch in a different tree? No, there is tradition. You know.
Oh, and speaking of booze and tradition, stumbled across the story of a famous bar in the Yukon territories. And they've got a very special cocktail, which was invented by some riverboat captain in the 70s when he found a toe.
As you do.
And he's come up with a grand plan. You know what? I've come up with a special drink, beer glass, filled with champagne, drop the toe in.
Pickled toe.
Yeah, and you've got to neck it, and it's not for realsies unless the toe touches your lip. Okay. Now, see, I read this, and I kind of thought...
Gag.
That you've got the same toe for 30 years? Is that what's happening?
Issue.
No, but apparently heaps. Toes are easy to come by.
What the
Get
fuck?
them from medical labs.
Oh,
Yeah, and they're not dangerous. They're like being soaked in alcohol.
Excuse me. I've come from a toes, eh? And, you know, they'll just give you your toes, and, you know, they're pickled and brined. It's cool. It's cooled. And they're fine. Their toes are safe as. What are the health and safety people
Oh,
say?
the health and safety people, they actually, for the article linked below, they've got a health and safety person saying, no, it is completely safe. Seriously, in this territory, you're in more danger of freezing to death or being eaten by wolves on your way to the bar.
What kind of fucking night out is that? Well, the toe was okay, but I was really fucking cold, and the fucking wolf attack was a bitch.
It's just Yukon. There you go. But hey, you know, let's tone things down with a serious science story now with Alex Cox. Sexy Alan Cox. Former 80s pop star, now astrophysicist and BBC presenter.
Tell me about string theory, Brian.
Yes.
Tell me about string...
I believe anything Brian tells me. And what he recently told me, he has a live astronomy show, Stargazing Live.
It's hugely rated in the UK. It's like massively rated because, like, he, you know, explains stars and it's really sexy and...
And he came up with a twist, like, because apparently, like, some of his viewers had discovered a planet. Like, amateur astronomers had proven that there was a planet in this star system.
Cool.
And he thought, you know what we could do? We could point the radio telescope, like the Jodrell Bank radio telescope, at that live, and we might pick up radio transmissions from this planet and have aliens live on our show.
Cool!
What could go wrong? Apart from BBC bureaucracy, because then he said he was told there are actual health and safety regulations surrounding the discovery of alien life. There are limits to what you can do.
Yeah. OH&S.
So he's gone for the scoop of forever, but being put off by BBC bureaucracy saying, no, health and safety, no. But where this really goes off the rails...
Really does.
Where his co-host, Dara O'Brien, who's a comedian, said, Brian may have been taking some comedic license there. Giggle, he was talking shit. That never happened. Brian Cox, the actual real astrophysicist...
The real face of actual science in the 21st century
has
bullshitting
gone on,
us.
He's gone on BBC Radio and just fucking made that up.
Unbelievable.
And a comedian has... No, that's not true, is it, Brian?
Brian, no, that's wrong, mate.
That's
Brian, the comedian has had to go, that's naughty, Brian, that's naughty.
And all I can imagine is all Brian's done in response is going, no, look into my eyes and hear in your head the hit song of my 80s band, D-Ream, Things Can Only Get Better, and then tell me Am I wrong? Am I?